One of the genres that has absolutely taken over pop music in the past few years is disco. With artists like Dua Lipa, Sabrina, Carpenter, some of the biggest songs by Doja Cat, it's one of those genres that never gets old. And the element that really defines disco pop as a genre are drums. They're very specific, inspired by the 70s, live feeling, but definitely way punchier than the original stuff from the 70s. The problem is, with the genre becoming so popular, everyone started using the same sample packs. And now all the disco pop drums sound the same. So today I want to show you how you can get a modern disco pop drum sound without using any sample packs. We're gonna build the drums from scratch using Neon, the new drum plugin by UJAM, which focuses exactly on this kind of sound. And by the end of the video, they're gonna sound like this. By the way, my name is Bad Habit. I'm a multi-platinum producer and artist, and I have this little idea that I've been working on that sounds a lot like Sabrina Carpenter to me. Reminds of Feather, Tears, those kind of disco pop songs by Sabrina. So I have some chords. They sound like this. 119 BPM, so tempo is perfect for the genre. It's a super simple idea. I just have this Juno sound layered together with this other sound coming from Grit, the plugin from UJAM, which is a great emulation of, an electric piano. And to develop this beat and bring it into the right direction, I really need to nail the drum sound. So we're gonna start from this section, which is probably gonna be the verse. And when you open Neon, you have this nice interface, pretty familiar because you have all the drum sounds laid out on the keyboard, kick, snare, clap, hi-hats, toms, and then you have these two big knobs, which I'm going to show you in a second. But before we focus on the sounds, I want to focus on the pattern. This is 119 BPM, so I'm thinking something maybe not kick 4 on the floor, but like, so not only you can of course play your own pattern, but when you go here under styles, you have a nice list of patterns all recorded at different tempos. This is very handy, and of course all of these can also adapt to the tempo of your song. So even if I take this one 80, but then I preview it, we're of course listening to this at 119 BPM. And the very cool thing is that here there are so many variations of the same pattern depending on the section of the song that you're working on. So I don't know, let's go for like 105, Neon vibes. Like for the verse, pretty stripped down. But then if you move up the keyboard, you can start hearing how they become more and more complex. For example, here you have the chorus. Okay, you also have fills, and for each style, the patterns that you're gonna find here are all different. So you have like an endless combination. It's a little bit like being in the studio with an actual drummer and telling them what you want them to play. Like go simpler, go more complex. Okay, now I need a fill. Now I need something for the intro. I just need to find something to start from. Something like this. This is what I was thinking actually. Not 4 on the floor. 8 notes on the hi-hat. This sounds pretty good. And now I have this in MIDI, so I can make all the changes I want to make. For example, I'm thinking to add like a clap clap. Yeah, okay. Little bit of flamming, which is actually nice to see that it's already present in the original pattern. This already has this natural live feeling. So I'm gonna enhance this with the clap. Okay, maybe here a little late. Yeah. Cool. And one thing that I may want to do is reduce the velocity of these upbeats. I kind of want this hi-hat to almost sound like it's in 4th, not really in 8th notes. So I would like it to sound more like and have that like very, very tiny hat on the upbeat. Exactly, something like that. Okay. So now I think we can move on to the more interesting part, which is nailing the sound of these drums. And there is so much that we can customize in here, because not only we can go in each single hit, but we also have a ton of presets to start from. And I like to start from presets and then tweak them to my liking. So I can just start previewing some of these, and you can immediately hear that these drums can go from sounding soft and short like these ones to sound much lower, crunchy, darker. Oh, this is cool. There are so many cool presets in here. I love this one. I'm thinking of something tuned a little lower, especially the snare. So this preset could be a good starting point. And as you can see, as I keep scrolling through the presets, these big knobs are changing, and also all of the values here are changing because these presets are made by combining drum kits. Neon has 6 different drum kits: soft, tight, grit, pop, and loose. And by combining these with mix presets that give a different character to the sound, you get pretty unique sounding drums. And if we focus on this left side for a moment, one thing that I want to show you is that each one of these drum kits, let's start from the soft, is a combination of different drum hits. Let's take the kick, for example. We have 5 different types of kicks. This one is kick D, but if we wanted to change this to kick A, it would sound like this. B would sound like this. So it's all different types of kicks in this kind of disco pop vibe. And the same thing happens on the snare. For example, grit, the snare is C, but if I go to loose, it's E. I actually kind of like this preset, no remarks. I may want to change some things though. I like this snare sound, so I think I'm gonna keep type D, but I want to tune it a little lower. Okay, a little fuller. And I'm not sure about the kick, to be honest. Oh yeah, this is much better. Fuller, more low end, you know. I like this. Oh yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction with these drums. Love this. This could definitely be a Sabrina Carpenter song. And one very important part of disco pop drums is the reverb. Sometimes they can be super dry, like completely dry, but sometimes they can also have a small room. They can have a little spring reverb. You have some presets here. Let's see. This is a plate. That's definitely not the vibe I'm going for. Gated. This gives a little more of that 80s feeling if you want to. Here we have Sabrina's spring. I'm not sure if this is actually meant to replicate Sabrina's spring reverb. It's possible, but I want to use this one now. 65%, something like that, should be pretty good as the master level for the reverb. But then we have, of course, individual control on each drum hit. So if I wanted to make the snare more reverb, no? Something like that. I definitely want a lot of reverb on these claps. On the snare, actually a little, but not too much. Kick, no reverb. Okay, much better. These are the main drum hits. We're gonna have maybe some fills later with the toms. One thing that I want to play with, overheads and the room. In this case, we have no room, but we have the overheads. And I love that they put this little knob to compress the overheads. Listen to this. Yeah. So not as much, but this really brings life to these drums. I love this. To make it a little bit more old school disco though, I want to make sure that these drums don't sound too bright and too harsh. This is modern pop music, so they cannot sound too dark. They need to be in your face, but that's something that I really can go a long way if you do it carefully. So like at least these overheads, you know, not something like this, of course, but this is a little too much. 15,000, something like that, should be enough. These are the overheads alone. Okay, that's not bad. These drums work pretty well for this section of the song, which probably will be the verse. So let's imagine that we go next into a pre-chorus. We need to add some new elements and probably to make the drums a little bit busier going towards the chorus where they actually become even busier. So now I may want to add some sustained chords here in the pre to make it a little bit fuller, you know, and actually increase the energy. I'm gonna use this once again. Yeah, pretty cool. Now it's way too loud, but sounding good. Also added very simple pad, just, you know, to add that carpet of chords and the energy. increases going towards the chorus. So now the one thing I'm thinking is, remember when we reduced the velocities of the hi-hat to make it sound a little more like it was. Now in the pre-chorus, since the energy is building, I kind of want to bring that back a little. But I'm thinking, instead of going in here and actually change the velocities back, why don't we use a second track? So we open a new neon instance and we add just the hi-hats. So I simply copied the MIDI from the other track, but now I muted the kick and the snare, and now I'm just trying to get this right. So some of these still need some adjustment. Okay. And I also kept the claps because I actually was thinking that as the energy increases, it will also be nice to have the claps become more and more important. So the new hi-hat comes in and the claps are now bigger. So you're like, okay, something is happening now. It's still a little loud. And I made sure to pan this to the right so that it's a little out of the way, and also it mimics a little bit, you know, the position of the hi-hat in a drum kit. Now, one more thing before going into the chorus, I would like to add a little bit of bass. This is a very simple bass line, nothing crazy. I absolutely love songs that don't have the bass in the verse, like in this case, and then in the pre, the bass comes in and you're like, oh yeah, now the energy is actually changing, you know? And after playing with it for a little bit, I came up with this, which sounds very, very good to me. Of course, I needed to make this bass a little bit more important, so I added a couple of plugins like the Decapitator, just some compression. And as the song becomes bigger, I also wanted to apply some more processing to the drums. I also added some saturation with the, you know, the classic black box, one of my favorite plugins, and just a little extra saturation coming from Ableton Saturator. So now they sound like this. Woo. And together with the hi-hats, now we can make these a little louder probably. Yeah, pretty cool. And now that we have this, as we keep developing the song, we're ready to go into the chorus. And now I'm thinking those fills that we've seen earlier here could actually come handy now, because these have been played by professional drummers, and so they're gonna sound much better than me trying to actually create my fill with MIDI, you know? This is like very simple. Maybe the final part, boom, something like that. Or this one, same thing, maybe just the final part. Let me try. This is the fill that I just dragged in. It sounds like this. And to go into the chorus, of course, we need a crash. So I just added this, you know? So now with the fill, it just sounds something like this. Yeah, love it. Okay, and now since this is the chorus, I'm actually missing some more movement on these drums. I'm even thinking about bringing in some 16th notes hi-hats. Actually, it is a 16th note pattern, but with like ghost notes. Let me show you. And I want to make sure that it feels live. So I want this to be perfectly on the grid. And now we bring down the velocities, but I don't want these two hits to be the exact same velocity. I actually want this one to be much quieter. Let me see. Exactly. So we have that. Yeah. The only thing I feel it's missing now is adding even a little ride. Just like the bell. Something like that, very, very quiet. All right, this is sounding good. The only thing that I think we could add in terms of keys is actually having maybe a piano, something that plays these sustained chords that we also have with the whirly. But, you know, this whirly is kind of dark. I want something brighter and like more powerful. So I'm thinking just like a piano. Oh, this is nice. Oh, I love it. Maybe with that lower octave. Pretty cool. And now to finish, to enhance this 16th notes pattern that we have with the hats, I also wanted to add some percussions, you know, so I added a very simple shaker and tambourine. You know, this helps increasing the energy for the chorus. And finally, I just want to group these drums together and maybe compress them just a little. I want to clip slightly, but I want to let the transients through. So attack, maximum, release, pretty short. And I don't want too much compression, like just a couple dBs, something like that. Maybe 80% or so. So like super simple here in the verse. These are sounding great. Then we go into the pre-chorus, a little more energy with these additional hats. Love it. A nice fill to introduce the chorus. And here we go. Perks are maybe a little bit too loud. And we have a different fill to end. And probably go back to the verse. Yeah. Alright guys, I think now the drums are sounding absolutely amazing. And now that I have this, I have a very clear idea of where I want to bring this track. Once again, my name is Bad Habit. If you enjoyed this and want to see more from me, my own channel is linked down in the description. And make sure to check out Neon. You'll find the link in the description for that too. And of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.